Hi everybody, this time I'm doing dungeon sewer tiles. Alright, now I have these can all be you can learn how to make these through the DMG's channel, the DMG info, and I made them exactly the way he shows. So the only difference is I covered the corrugation with cardstock as I did in my regular tiles. I think the only other thing I did different was I actually inset this piece down into, so I did cut an extra layer down and then set it in. Not that it really made any difference, it's just it came to me while I was working on it. So anyway, this is the sewer cesspool swirling pool vortex of terror. Okay, let me try that again. Swirling vortex of poop. Let's do that. So that's what this is. And then we have the stairs of poop. We have the three-way of poop. The crappy downpipe. And the hallway of poo. So now everything is ready for black paint. So I've got my handy dandy acrylic paint here, and I'm just going to prime everything black, and then we'll see where we're at. Okay everyone, so I've got all the tiles and the stairs all primed up and ready to get the rest of final paint on, and I'm going to use my stamps that I used in my previous on my previous tiles. So I get the same pattern, but I had to make a few extra stamps this time. So I made this one, which is actually curved, made out of this gift wrapper roll that I've been using. I also used it to make the pillars here. So it's got this nice curve in it so that I can go in and it lines up really nicely. So I get a nice brick pattern with that. And then for the stairs, I kept a couple of the pieces that we had cut off, and then those I will use, boom, to stamp those down, and I'll still get the same pattern as this. And then I did the bigger ones for this one right in here, and then the small one here I will use on the inside going down there, and then over here, and then I will use the square one to finish up this part. And same with this, only this time the big one will get used twice because we got one here and then here, and then the little one this time will go up here. So I'm going to get to stamping and we'll see what they look like after. Okay everyone, so here we have it, all done. We have our spiral staircases, we have the 2.5D and the 3D all finished up. We also have our poo tiles, or sewer tiles, whichever you want to call them. Now everything you see here is done the exact way that DMG does it, with two exceptions. That is, I cover the corrugation on the sides with cardstock, and I use a stamping method to do my painting. Okay, so let me give you a closer look, starting with the 3D stairs. I love the way these came out. Just beautiful. And by covering that corrugation, I had some people ask me on the DM's Craft Facebook page what they were made out of. I'm like, cardboard. See? So and I let people know that this video would be up soon so that they can see how it was made. And this one's made exactly the same. Okay. Very little differentiation between those two. Now this ones are the 2.5D style of spiral staircases. This one is going upwards, you can see. Whoop. So, doot 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 doot, all the way to the top. And then obviously this one is going down. I'll let you see down there. And you can see I did the wash like I did in my other steps, my original stairs, just to kind of darken it down and then completely darken it down there. But if you look into it, and it might be hard to see on camera, but you can actually see, barely see some of the stones, but you still see the stone pattern there. Alright, so that's the 2.5D spiral staircases as done by DMG Info. And the poo tiles, these are the ones I believe I did all the sewer tiles that he done, or at least all that he's posted. So we have this three-way, and let's see, I'm trying to think if there was anything I did differently, and I don't think there is. You know, I did the barbecue skewers to make the grates. They might be running a different direction than his, just depends on your cardboard and what direction it's running. But essentially it's the same. This is actually a high gloss paint brown that I have. So I didn't even have to use super gloss. I just used that paint by itself and it's super shiny. And I still use the matte finish, so you can kind of see the difference between the matte finish clear coat and the high gloss acrylic paint. So there is that. And then we have the long hallway. And you have to forgive me, I forgot, I think this is a 1x4, I want to say. Long hallway. The poo stairs, or the sewer stairs. Effluent flowing down, as DMG would say. And then we have the down pipe. So your players could come in here. What I would be thinking, and I'll show you kind of a little setup here in a minute, is that there could be, they could find a stairway down or a pipe down from above. And depending on which, you know, they might find themselves in a nasty mess, swimming around in poo, or they could be slipping and sliding through the stairs on poo. So, and here we have the DMG sewer cistern. Again, done in the very same fashion, just a little bit different on the paint scheme, and I cover the corrugation. So, and I did a rust effect on the pipe here. Basically, I painted the whole thing with a silver, and you might not be able to see it on camera, but here in person you can kind of sort of see a little metallic underneath the rust. The rust is a combination of three different colors: red, orange, and brown. Then I put all three colors on the same brush and just tamp it down. And that's how I did that. This is the poop brown, the high gloss brown, and then the rest of the tile has the matte finish. The wood is painted in hot cocoa color. So there's that tile. Now I'll do a sort of a little demo of how you can use these pieces in your dungeon. Okay guys, so here we are with a nice little setup here. I've just done a very small display to show you how you can use the spiral staircases. Now I've chosen to use one 3D and then one 2.5D. This one can either go up or down depending on what you need it for. This one is the one going down. So what have we got here? Well, these are all the pieces that we've made in this so far. So let's bring out our player characters. Now I've chosen to have this one be coming down. And our player characters are coming down the spiral staircase. Okay. And as they come down, they have a decision to either go into this little room over here. But you see how nicely they fit on there perfectly. And I'm using paper minis. I get these from 7wonders.uk.co something or other. It's a really great site. You print them off. I just stick them to cardboard and then cover up the corrugation. And I make these little stands just out of cereal box card. So the PCs, or the, yes, PCs come down. And they have a choice to go into this room and this room. Let's say they decide to go into this room. Boom. Door opens. They step inside. Alright. And let's just throw in some, I don't know, goblins. Okay. So here we go. Just going to throw in a couple goblins in this room just to give it something. Now the great thing about these is you can use the beds. The goblins can tip up the beds and use them to shield themselves against an archer or someone with a crossbow or any kind of throwing weapons. It gives them a little bit of cover, a nice cover bonus. This guy, he could be on top of the bed and the player characters still have a hard time seeing him unless they notice him. And he can do like a surprise attack from almost behind this door. I think there's a crate there. Ooh, I knocked everyone over. So there's a crate there that he could be hiding on when that door swings open. But you kind of get the idea of where I'm going at with this. Let's say our big character was up front and picked up the bed and threw it at the goblin and knocked the goblin down. Boom. So let's say they managed to kill all the goblins in this room. Even the guy that's back here, he did a little surprise attack but failed. And they get the treasure chest. And these we painted up. So they move on. Oop, I did it again. Alright, so they move on to the next room, and this has the little Herstarts barrels and crates that DM Blairwolf had sent me. I got them all painted up. So those look nice. The little treasure piles over here. I finished those. I still got to clear coat them, but they're for all intents and purposes done. So let's say there's just a couple more goblins in this room. You know, maybe they're guarding the goods. So they take them on, they easily kill them, and they move through. Let's say they go down here to the end, open a door, boom. And they find a study with some maps and books and various other things. But you can see how it really looks nice on the tiles. It really kind of stands out, pops, it adds the extra flavor, and it gives the players something to really look at and focus on, and adds the extra And what I love about the 2.5D is that there's no high walls, so you don't have to reach in, and everyone can see this from wherever they're sitting. So let's say they find a couple of things in here that they can use, and they move on. So they come down this. Now here they come up. Oh, there's a set of spiral staircases going down and a door in front of you. What do you choose to do? Well, let's just say they decide to, and I'll open the door this way even though the handle's on the other side. They decide to open that door, and there's a bunch of coffins in the room with some zombies guarding the coffins. How about that? Yes, that paper mini site has pretty much everything. So I got some zombies here. So then we can have a really cool battle in here. They can smash up the coffins. They can, if they're strong enough, maybe use the coffin, kind of prop it up and use it as like a shield. They could stand up on top of them. Now the coffins, DMG does have a build video on those, and I believe Scotty does as well. But these ones came from DM Blair Wolf. They were ones that he made. So I haven't made any yet, and I don't know if I'm going to need to since I have these three. But we'll see what comes up in the future. So let's say they defeat the undead there, bust open the coffins, and say they find a few items that they need for their quest, and then they want to go downstairs. So they're going down the spiral staircase. Alright. So I will get the sewer tiles all set up and show you how that works. Okay guys, so I've set up just another little demonstration, and I've added the spiral staircases going down. These are the 2.5D. I did not put in the 3D. I'm sorry, these are the stairs going up, not down. And then these stairs here, the poo stairs. So let's say the spiral staircase came around and then it started to straight out towards the bottom, and the player characters are coming down. Now it can be very slippery. They might have to do some checks to make sure they don't fall into the poo or slip. And at the bottom of the stairs down here waiting for them is a zombie. And let's say they take out the zombie, get him out of the way. He's a goner. And they come down. Getting use out of these tiles. I'm just sitting here playing with them. Gotta love it. Alright, so they can open up this room here. There we go. And so if in the place above you built a sewer grate and they drop down, they would appear here and they would come out of the sewer grate. So, and you can see she perfectly kind of fits in there. So, and then they would have to crawl out of the poop and then through here. Let's just say they came through there. There's no getting that stink off down here in this dungeon. And let's say they walk into the room, and now I've used some rubble piles here, and in here there's a wolf. For whatever reason there would be a wolf in the sewer. Let's just say I used these rubble piles here from DM Blair Wolf that he gave me. I just repainted them to suit my needs, and yeah, they work out great. So a little bit of rubble, a little wolf, they can kill off and skin the furs, or what my Goliath barbarian did was he actually was able to befriend it using what's that skill? Wilderness? No, animal speak or something like that. I can't remember. It's been a while. But anyway, so let's say they befriend it and they got this little puppy sniffs out some goblins over here, and they come down here and start fighting goblins. But maybe the dog can go on this edge, but maybe she slips on the poop and she rolls miserably. She's down. The goblins move off. And we'll just say that this down here is a dead end, even though it's open ended. Or you could have another room down there that the goblins can escape to. So let's just say that they kill off the goblins. They don't find anything down here, and now they're going to move on. I'm going to leave Wolfie behind. And so that was kind of just, a little wasted time there. Didn't really get much out of that, but I mean, they got to kill some things. So they open this door and they look down the hall. They can see the rubble. And you can see this is a nice corner piece of rubble. And we're going to make some of DMG's rubble too to go along with our set here. But they come up to the sewer cistern. This one's going to be fun because this one, and again, if you had a sewer grate above and they dropped down it, maybe they ended up in here and they're swirling around in this poo, and they need someone to save them. If they come along, they'll have to do various checks and things to see if they fall into the poo. But you can see that my Dragonborn is kind of big for this, but I mean, it's a very slippery slope, so they just want to keep going into the poop. She doesn't want to, though. So yeah, so getting across this could be a lot of work for your players. And let's say they make it to the other side without fail, and they fight off this zombie over here. Again, there's a nice little rubble pile, and they fight off a zombie. And let's say they want to go down this way, figure out what's going on. They come through, and they can just barely skate by there and work their way through. And I would assume that this would be like a secret room, the way I got it enclosed in. And I'm going to have to make some secret doors because I know there's a lot of secret passages that I got coming up in the next round of games that I'll be DMing. So anyway, so this would be a secret room. If they fend off the zombie, they can get the treasures. And then they can choose to go up the stairs and see what's up next at the next level. And I love it. I love doing this stuff. You guys have seen how a lot of this is working, and it's just a blast. It's easy to build, guys. This actually, I mean, for most of you guys I've been posting, when I'm doing stuff. It really actually, if you put all the hours that I've actually put into just the sewer tiles and the 3D staircases, it's really no time at all. I mean, maybe a day's worth of work. And I'll even say 6 hours total, maybe, into it. And that's also, painting, waiting for the paint to dry. Hot gluing everything. Everything's instantly built. It's mostly you're only waiting, like I said, for the paint and the undercoats and the stamping. And so, I mean, there we go, guys. So I got me a nice little sewer set to go with the basic dungeon tile set. You guys have seen various different things in action that we've built, such as the doors, the beds that I built, the bookcases, and you guys have seen in other videos the various desks that I've done. This cool little, I'm going to build more of these barrels. These are DM Scotty barrels. Definitely want to build more of those. I don't think I showed much in this video previously, but these are Hearst Arts pieces from DM Blair Wolf that I got all painted up. so they look nice and sexy on the board. So they look nice. There is a difference in the size of the crafted barrels to the Hearst Arts barrels, just for comparison, if anyone's wondering. But they're all usable. The gold piles were, I believe they were Hearst Arts from DM Blair Wolf. I just glued gold onto them, to the piles, and added a little jewel on some of them. Yeah, so that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and next I think I'm going to do rubble piles and ruined passageways. So until then, I'll see you next time.